I want me some glory holes.
Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to the Football Glory Hole Recap Podcast, week 10. I said fucking 10 of your NFL season. I'm Rose Boston. I'm joined here, as always, by my good buddy Longhorn. And if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google, SoundCloud, Spreaker, watch us live, Facebook,
And now it's time for the good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, that's just fucking great. That's just fucking great.
The bad.
Is this bad? Is this bad?
Well, that's fucking not good.
And the are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me?
God damn it. Are you fucking with me?
All right, boys and girls, as always, we start off with a good. Well, look, I know I come on here and say this every week. Some people might think we get tired of saying it. I fucking don't. It's another winning week as a company at FGH. 25-22 on the week. We just keep on fucking rolling, baby. CK, our boy, star of the fucking week. 13-6. Killing it. Week after week, he has hit his groove now. All his data's in. His fucking player props are fucking on fire. Look, if you're not buying his package and you're doing player props, you're literally doing life all wrong. You're wasting your time and your fucking money. This dude is just printing money. Printing money.
Yeah, those
And
pick
I'm
sixes
lucky
are
enough that I
huge
work
now,
here,
too.
So I get to get this shit for free.
Those pick sixes contests are huge now, or whatever. How I've never done them, so I don't sure. But I think you can pick, like, if you get 4 out of 4, it's like, isn't it like a 10-1 or 20-1? I don't know.
Yes.
So-
Depending on what it is, yeah, it's huge money. Like,
Yeah. Buy the
he's
package.
winning me money hand over fist. Buy his fucking package. His price to sales, Longhorn always says, you're literally doing everything wrong if you not do that. All right, for me, 11-10 on the week. We'll take another fucking overall winning week. I hit my free pick on Jackson State. That's right, Jackson State. Minus 28.5. 9-4 now on free picks for the year for me. So, another good week there. Let's get into the specifics, though. The New York Jets +2. Both of us, Longhorn and I, had this one to our clients. Longhorn hit the sounder on the podcast plus the 110. This certainly was a weird one, and I did lose a unit in the game. We'll get to that in the Are You Fucking Kidding Me? But overall in this one, have to admit, Longhorn, we got extremely lucky just to get this win. This Jets offense is a fucking abortion. Fields was completely outclassed by Dylan Gabriel. And yes, that sentence just came out of my mouth. But in the end, we did get a win, thank God. Longhorn, thoughts on this? I guess it was an NFL game. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes these things happen. Fields.
We never apologize for wins, by the way. We never apologize for
He
wins.
only had 28 yards rushing, which that's just, I don't know what they're doing. Look, you get a win with the worst coach in football. I'm not gonna try to overanalyze it. And his defense sucks.
Maybe
he gave
the worst
up
quarterback in football? Maybe.
But yeah, you got Dylan Gabriel on the road who threw 32 times, and you can't even turn him over in New York.
Completed 50% of them.
That's fine because he sucks. So I get that, but like this defense, who I think they had, how many sacks they ended up with? Because they several. Oh my God, Will McDonald had 4 sacks himself. There were 2 other sacks, so 6 sacks on Dylan Gabriel. He throws 32 times, and you can't even turn him over. Like Aaron Glenn, Will McDonald was a good pass rusher coming out of college, so that's not Aaron Glenn. That has nothing
You
to do
get
with
no
Aaron Glenn.
credit.
You get no credit. I'm sorry. So this defense continues to underwhelm with good players on the defense. So, yeah, hit the sounder just because of the spot and Cleveland's defense not being that good on the road. However, they did with the 2 punt return or 2 kick return touchdowns. They really only gave up
I'll get into the
13
in this game and the "Are you fucking kidding me?" and how unlikely all of this was. But yeah,
it's just one of those. It was just one of those games that was like destined to just happen. It was just
a win's a win, baby.
Yep.
A win's a win. All right, moving on. Seattle -6.5. I put that out to my clients. Now this is a combo platter because Longhorn did have Arizona +7 to his. I was honestly hoping that I would win and he'd get the push right on the number, but Seattle obviously had other plans. Longhorn did lose 2 units on the danger zone in this one, and even though I warned him not to play the money line because Seattle was my survivor pick, he decided to do that anyway. Great game for me, not so great for Longhorn, and the same held true really for both the teams. Seattle's offense, this is the most explosive offense, boys and girls, that we have seen since the 2001 Rams. That was a stat I heard while I was listening to the game while I was traveling yesterday. I looked it up, and they're actually on pace to beat the greatest show on turf for explosive plays, which those are categorized in the NFL as pass plays over 20 yards and runs over 10. They had 7 of those in this game alone. Arizona got some really good stat padding in the second half. It was literally, by all definitions of, so when I talk about trash time a lot, sometimes I'm using hyperbole, but of the actual definitions of trash time, if you want to use those to filter those out of your algorithms, 100% of the second half was categorized as trash time. It was an absolute ass whipping from the start. After they fell down by 3 scores, the Cardinals literally never made it back within even 2 scores of the game.
3 scores? They fell like 5 scores. I mean, it was...
I know, but it was 3. After they got down 3, they got back within 3, but they never got back within 2 scores. So, Longhorn, I know you had some thoughts on this game.
Well, I mean, look, it was obviously the wrong pick. I'm not going to sit here and say it was it was like, should have done this, should have done that, but like, they got down 28-0 or 35, whatever the fuck it was, and
35-0,
and it was very early, so you can call it trash time. But since like a quarter and a half of the game, they basically outplayed them, and the explosive.
It is by definition of the actual like. If you look up trash time in the definition of advanced analytics, the rest.
That's fine. That's fine, and I'll accept that. But if you're gonna do that, then it was trash time from a quarter and a half on.
Yeah,
which when you're up by 35, that's fine. You can call it trash time because you're almost never going to lose that game. I don't know. You'll never convince me that a team that has looked completely different comes out and goes down 35-0. There isn't something else going on there. And, with the way the scuttlebutt of the way the coach handled the Kyler benching. And that's just what it was. It was Kyler was healthy to play or almost healthy to play last week. They went with Brissett. Brissett plays well against the Cowboys, beats them. They announced Brissett the starter, and then literally, like not even a full day later, Kyler's on the IR. Like there was something that went down in that locker room, in the the facilities, and I know Kyler's not a leader of men that's been well established. He's gonna have a click. Every person, there's always a click, and he's the quarterback, so he's 100% gonna have the click. He's been there for 7 years, or however long it's been. So, and it really only takes 1 or 2 seeds.
Harrison Jr. is not in his click, I can promise you.
Probably not, but like it only takes 1 or 2 seeds of this is bullshit. How can they do this to him? And you derail the thing. Now, this is an unproven theory. This is just my thoughts. I can't explain how a team goes down 35. Cleveland doesn't go 35-0. The Jets don't go down 35-0. The Saints don't go down 35-0 in a quarter and a half. Like this.
Clearly, you weren't listening on the podcast when I said that DeMarcus Lawrence was going to have 2 defensive touchdowns in the first quarter. I literally said that out loud.
So look, I take it's a bad loss for me. Obviously, I took the L and it hurt. But like, I'm not changing what I said on the podcast. Arizona is still a play-on team because.
Yeah, 100%.
You can have your 1-game mutiny, and you made your point. You got shit stomped, whatever. They're going with Brissett going forward. So now it's time. Okay, you made your point. Let's all get back to playing football. And yeah, the fact that they were down 35-0 and they kind of played them. they won the turnover battle. It was 3-0 at the end, or 3-2 at the end of the game. So they came back, fought hard, caused some turnovers. I don't know, man. Just yeah, obviously bad pick,
it was a perfect storm for Seattle. The two defensive touchdowns in the first quarter. It's hard to come back from that. And then I think that the big takeaway for me, I do have to obviously downgrade Arizona, but
that's fine. That's fair.
The bigger takeaway for me was, okay, now we've seen them against, and I think I texted you during the game, and we'll get into it a little bit later with some more of these teams, but to me, Seattle and who else did I text you about? Oh, the Rams. Seattle and the Rams, to me, have now separated themselves from the rest of the NFC through halfway through the year. Like, they're just a really good fucking team, in which you called it. You fucking had them win the division. I did not have them being this good. So
well, they're tied. So, I mean, they're tied with the Rams. So, it's going to come down to
they got a chance, and I never thought they would have a chance to be this good. And they truly are. So, we saw Arizona step up in competition from Dallas, who's a middling team, obviously, to probably best team, second best team, however you want to rank them in the NFC right now. And we saw the difference of that talent play out on the field. And on top of that, the perfect storm of 2 defensive touchdowns in the first quarter. That crowd gets into it, gets rolling.
It just got away.
Yeah,
it got away. So it happens. You just take it.
Well, I'll tell you what, my buddy Longhorn, though, only man on the planet that had Miami put it out plus 9.5 to his clients. He wasn't just bullshitting. He also hit the big dick pick 2 units on the plus 9.5. Half a unit on the money line plus 400. That's 2 more units there, boys and girls. We're good at math.
That's 4 a good one.
Units on the big dig. I don't have his season numbers in front of me. I'm sorry, I'm on the road, but that should get him close to even money to the big dig picks.
I think it's like plus 9,000 or something like that. It's
easily.
I don't have the numbers in front of me either, though, so I could be wrong.
But look, I'm just gonna get out of the way. Great call there. That's an awful loss for the Bills. The Longhorn, all your flowers, sir. You're the only man on the planet. I'll get into the Survivor thing later, but this game literally made 6 people, and I'll get into it later, millionaires. And I'll explain why
shit
later. But
wow,
Longhorn, you are the only dude. You're the only dude. So take it away, sir.
Yeah, well, obviously I thought there was
before I let him take. I was even bragging about you. I was just eating dinner at a bar, at a restaurant. I was sitting at the bar. And this guy was like, how the fuck you picked the NFL? Who the fuck ever saw Miami beat Buffalo? I was like, well, actually, I got a guy that said it out loud on a podcast, and everybody laughed at him. And then, what do you know? What do you know?
Yeah, you just got to pick your spots. That's the only thing about picking these upsets. And I'm just basically on the podcast, in case you haven't noticed, like the other 2 handicappers are actually real good handicappers. I'm more of a pick your spot and pick these underdog type guy. Because basically all I do is pick the underdogs, but you got to pick your spots, or you're going to end up just blowing your wad, and just bang your head against the wall. But this one, a division game, the Josh Allen factor where he doesn't cover as a 7-point dog or higher, or favorite or higher. And you mentioned it on the podcast, and I kind of predicted it when you were getting into it. This was a Devin Achane spot. This was always going to be a David Achane spot, and that motherfucker went straight off. 174 yards rushing, 51 more in the air. Just, and then Josh Allen, on the other side, they lost some more people on defense, by the way. They lost one of their rookie defensive tackles, defensive end Landon Jackson. 2 more secondary people that either got hurt during the game or didn't play at all. I can't remember the exact details, but look, man, there's something not quite right with this Buffalo team, and they nutted up against KC. Hats off. I was on KC on that one.
Just a matchup thing. It's just a matchup thing.
It was more of a spot than a matchup. They don't seem to be able to match up well in the playoffs. They play them close, but it's. So I don't know. It's just a spot thing, and Tua didn't kill any. He didn't. I mean, 15 for 21. He did throw 2 picks, so he is still Tua.
I said it was going to be a bad game for him, which is why I didn't really like your money line pick. But I did like the 9.5. I don't know why I didn't bet it myself, but I said it was going to be a bad game for him. It was. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't a terrible game. 8.2 yards per clip. He only threw for 173 yards. But like you said, and we talked about the podcast, I said Achane should have a good game. You said it's his spot. You fucking nailed it. I mean, the dude went the fuck off.
We're going to see in just this big picture going forward with Buffalo.
40 fantasy points, by the way. 40.
For A-Chain? Yeah.
A-Chain.
Going forward, we'll see about Buffalo. I know Kincaid got nicked up. I haven't heard the long term.
That's big if he did.
For him. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know how you're feeling about the AFC, but I'm not feeling good.
It's a fucking mess.
And I'm thinking that Buffalo, or not Buffalo, but Baltimore. I mean, I know they were.
We might have some life, buddy.
Look, here's what sucks is I put Baltimore out at plus 700 in the preseason. I also put the Rams out at plus 2,600. So I've got some good tickets. But why I didn't double down when they were 1-5 and put them out at like plus 2,500 or whatever. I don't even know what it was. Why I didn't, I don't know. Because they're just going to go on a run. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're like the 2 seed.
Yep.
Or
I got some stuff on them later.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll wait for it then.
Yeah, great. I mean, call of the year. That's the call.
I have one of these every year. Like every year, I have one of these. Hopefully, I can get another one before the end of the year. But I always have one of these at some point.
And I'll get to how big a call it was financially for a lot of people a little bit later on. But definitely call of the year, big dick pick of the year, 100%. Fucking great call.
I'll tell you.
Look, I'm putting Longhorn's free pick in the good. He had the skins plus 8 because look, we've been telling
you're learning now.
All season.
You get it now.
Yeah, it's unreal. He is 1-9 on free picks. So if you've been fading, like we've told you to, you're hitting 90% ATS. This is the best thing that this podcast has ever fucking produced. Literally fucking ever. I said on the podcast.
I might start putting it out on the Patreon page. It's just this is the fade lock of the year or the week.
I mean, I don't know how you don't.
And this doesn't it's not just this year. This goes back years. This has been a while.
2 years. It's been 2 years. Look, I said on the podcast, Goff was about to have an outstanding game. He graded up to grade 3 points to the BPG. He didn't disappoint. 25 for 33, 320 yards, 9.7 yards an attempt. Every time he threw a ball was a first down. 3 touchdowns, no picks, and even got some snaps from his backup because it was so dominant of a performance. But on top of that, I also said I expected the Lions to have a good day running the ball as well. I'd say they did. 226 yards at 6.1 yards per carry. Pretty good day. Total 546 yards to 288. This was not the Seattle game. This was actually the biggest ass whipping of the entire fucking
Do you have the closing number?
I think it closed at 7.5.
So it never ticked back up?
Let me see. Oh, no, I'm lying. Closed at 8.5. It did go back up to 8.5.
So because we talked about we can't understand this line move at all. It just made literally no sense at all. I was wondering if there was some fuckery going on just to the Billy Walters type thing where you buy a number down just to pound it on the other side times 2 or 3. I don't, because it just made and it scared me off. So it's something that I would have
bought it down just to get the teaser.
That's what I was thinking. Because it wasn't up to like 9.
It wasn't 9.5. It went all the way down at a couple of books to 7.5. And I even asked you in the podcast, like, hey, if it gets to 7.5, are you teasing Detroit down? You're like, no, because this money coming in, I don't understand. It scares me away. I'm like, yeah, but Detroit's got to win, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, I never understood it in the first place.
Maybe it's just to get the money line number down, because I don't see you buying numbers down to tease, because then you still got to hit the other side. So it made no sense from the jump, and it made no sense. It made no sense on the field. As soon as they kicked off, literally at no point did it ever make any sense. It was 14-3 at the end of the first quarter, and it was just constant. Detroit won every quarter. Detroit won.
They won.
The Redskins couldn't even win the fourth quarter. A blowout.
Not even in the most garbage of garbage time could they get it a win. Like at least like you said, Arizona fought back and put up a fight. No, Skins never could. They couldn't stop anything.
They are the dead Skins. That is 100% true.
I said it. I said in the podcast. This team was dead. They didn't do anything to prove me wrong. The Lions offense had been in a funk for about a month, but turns out all they needed
Dan Campbell.
They ran the 2 Dan play. They let Dan Campbell call offensive plays, and they play Dan Quinn's shitty defense. So you're on the 2 Dan play.
Yeah.
Guaranteed a great fucking.
You don't get to do that every week, but I did like to see that, because we always wondered, like, well, is Campbell just the he's the testosterone guy, he's the raw guy. Turns out he's not a dummy when it comes to play calling either, and that's what he kind of came up as an offensive, sided guy. Even though he looks and acts and talks more like you would think he's a defensive guy, but he's not. He's actually an offensive minded guy.
He was a tight ends coach at New Orleans. He was an assistant offensive coordinator under Peyton there too. Like, that's how he came up.
And he's an Aggie, so he's not an idiot. He's a smart guy.
An idiot. He just acts like an idiot, which is, again, definitely.
He does not act like an idiot. He just talks like a man that's got 1,000 testosterone level, like maybe higher. I don't know.
He's probably higher. All natural too, baby.
Sure, for sure.
And the Skins, Longhorn talked about their best player getting suspended. He actually didn't even get suspended. They bought him out through $100,000 fine, so he actually got to play.
Oh my God!
This Skins offense is still so broken. 2 of 10 again on third downs. Look, Coach Bro's got to go. His whole coaching staff has to go. It's house cleaning time in Washington. Just got announced Dan Quinn's taking over defensive play calling. Longhorn, you and I know what that means. When the coach is on the brink, they always go down fight. Like, you know what? If I'm getting fired, God damn it, I'm getting fired on my own shit. So we know he knows. We know that conversation's been had.
I mean, without the quarterback, I mean, sure. Like we talked about last time, just switch out the head coach and get an offensive guy.
This defense, and that's his thing.
That's the damning part. Is like, you've had 2 years to build up this defense, and it seems to be going the other way. Yeah.
Yes, it has not gotten any better. It's gotten worse. But Detroit, this is a huge win for them because Chicago won also. They got to keep up with Sugar Britches in division race. We'll get to that game in a minute.
Good Lord.
Any other thoughts on this one, Longhorn, other than the fact that this was just a demolition of a dead? It's a dead team walking. Look. The Skins we'll bet the Skins again for sure this year. It's going to take a certain matchup in a certain spot, and this just wasn't it. Like I said, because he was always going to have a good game. Now he's going to fucking average a first down for every throw, he said. I didn't say that, but I did say he was going to have one of his best games of the season. So, and the running game, my God almighty. They could not stop. 6.1 yards per carry. Even when they're running, even when they're up big, they could not stop it. They literally lined up, could not stop it. And they saw this frustration. Daron Payne gets kicked out of the game. People, I mean, this team has had it, man. The Skins team is just, they're on tilt. We talked about, and we didn't really debate because we really didn't have strong feelings either way that I remember. But it kind of felt like that some of that frustration had to be a little bit about their quarterback getting fucking hurt in a meaningless fucking part of the game, and now they know they're dead. Like, these veterans know they're dead. And for a team that just went to the NFC Championship game, that'd be different if they'd have went 6-10 or 6-11 like we expected to last year. They were just in the NFC Championship game, and now they're dead. That's
and they're
very
gonna
frustrating for a
go.
veteran team.
They're lucky to go 6-11 this year and win. So, but it's a bad miss. We should have both been on Detroit, and it sucks.
Well, I mean, I was on my personal book, but just because it was, I can't not fade that. Like, it's 90%. I've never hit anything 90% in my goddamn life. This is fucking amazing. All right, a couple other notes before we move on. Look, I know Taylor isn't going to win the MVP because we don't give that award to running backs, but make no mistake about it. He is absolutely the MVP of the Colts. Indiana Jones was good in the game. He only threw 1 pick, but Taylor, again, 244 yards, 7.6 yards per carry, 3 more touchdowns on the season through 10 games. He's at 1139 rushing, 6 yards per carry, 15 rushing touchdowns. I think 18 overall in 10 games. I mean, Atlanta fought hard in that game. They lost in overtime. Penix, he was really bad again, though. 12 for 28, 6.3 yards per attempt. No turnovers, which that's what kept Atlanta in it, the chance to win. They did cover. They didn't win. They're just not ready to be real contenders for that division.
Well, they covered the closing. They did cover the closing number. They didn't close the
close of 6.5. Yeah. But look, man, I think if Penix can step up, they're not that far off. I know he's in his late 30s, but there's still hope there.
Yeah, I've seen enough of Penix to know it. Like, I think he's in that too. Like, you know what he is. He's just anytime I swear to God, if these teams
I
have
think
not
there's
learned,
a little bit more hope for him than Tua just because he's not tiny. Like, he's a real NFL body.
I think they're about the same.
No, Tua. No,
I can check
like
it.
6'2", I think.
Who?
Penix, he's like 6'2".
I'm checking. Oh God, 6'3", 200. He does not look it. He doesn't look it. He doesn't play it. But they better not pay him,
dude. His knees have been operated on 37 times. He can't move.
They better not pay Penix. It's fine to
I wouldn't do that.
take a shot, but just start looking for someone else. And that Taylor, he had almost 300 yards in this game. We're doing Tecmo Bowl stuff.
He is the MVP of the league if he wasn't a running back. Like, there's no doubt. But if we didn't give it to Saquon last year, he ain't gonna get it this year either.
He ain't gonna get it, but it's he's locking up the what's the other award? The offensive player of the year.
Oh,
yeah, he's locked in that. He's already locked it up.
That's done. Okay, my Jags blew a golden opportunity to bury the Texans. They blew an unreal lead in the fourth and couldn't even get a field goal to win at the end. Look, Jags is so fortunate to be one game above 500. My boy TL was awful again. There's no other way to say it. I honestly don't have any clue, Longhorn, what to do with this team week to week. And on the Texans side, Davis Mills was awful for 3 quarters, and then magically in the fourth quarter he turns into fucking Tom Brady.
That was unbelievable.
I don't know how you bet either of these teams, really. You know, if Houston was playing a team with a competent quarterback and an offense in that game, they'd lose that game by 40. But
yeah,
maybe this one gets them overpriced for next week. Maybe we can hop back on a fade spot with Jacksonville.
Well, it'll be on Jacksonville.
No, on Houston.
Well, it should be. Stroud should be back next week.
Okay. Well, I mean, this offense still is, even with
it's got its issues for sure, but again, it's not as putrid as it was in the first 5-6 weeks of the season. That's for sure. It's it's having its moments, especially now that Nico is back. I mean, Nico was a monster, and he's a monster no matter what. But again, one of the Iowa State rookies. Well, combined, the Iowa State rookies had 9 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. So they're starting to show a little bit. So I don't know. I still like Houston, and I will just say, even though I'm having a terrible year overall with the handicapping, picking every game in some of the contests that I have, I'm in the money on those, and I needed Houston. I was on Houston, and all I needed was 26 points in the fourth quarter to pull that. And that's kind of how I figured it would go. If we're being like, I figured they would scuttlebutt around and then blow up for a quarter of 100 in the fourth quarter. So
this man is a genius.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that was my biggest take.
But TL, like I was watching this game, dude.
He was terrible.
And he's missing both of his receivers. Brian Thomas was out. Travis Hunter was out.
That's not why I'm downgrading Jacksonville overall. The reason why I'm downgrading Jacksonville more than I normally would, their best unit the entire season has been their defense. Like, that's what's got them to this position. They play really solid defense all year. This offense has been terrible all year. They blew a 3-score lead in the fourth quarter to a backup quarterback who we all know and have seen for years cannot play in this league, and they blew that lead to that dude.
Well, he did play in the league and won a game. So,
yeah. Well, that just shows you how you have to downgrade this Jacksonville team. That defensive collapse in that game, and it's all on the defense. I understand the offense didn't do anything. Who cares? They never do. Like, just go win the game on defense. It's Davis fucking Mills.
You know what they say? If a backup quarterback wins one game in a season, he's earned his contract. If he wins 2 or 3, lock him up for 5 years. So, like, Davis Mills, just for that one win, just bought himself 3 more years in the NFL. Like, I mean, that's just how it works for backup quarterbacks. You win a game in the NFL as a backup, as a Davis Mills, you just guaranteed NFL pension, another 3 years of making whatever backup, was it $5 million average probably that they make?
Oh, I'm sure.
So he literally just made him another $15 million in his career on that one win. So that's awesome for him.
He secured his children's retirement on that win. to give up threes, like it would be different if it was tight the whole game and he makes a play, and the Jacksonville can't make a play. No, they're down by 3. They let up 26 points in the fourth quarter. And I know the last one was a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, that was just
19 points.
Yeah.
You gave up 19 points.
Did they kick the extra point? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
It
doesn't matter. You gave up 18 points, whatever you gave up, to a dead offense and a quarterback. Literally, he can't play. I mean, he's had his time starting. We've seen that. And he looked like the same Davis Mills for 3 quarters. Like, that game was over. The game was done. And all of a sudden it wasn't. So, it's
Woody Marks. Another good game for Woody Marks, by the way. And I don't mean to brag, but I did talk about him in the draft. Went in the 5th round. I said this is a kid that's going to make a difference. He's pretty much taken that starting role. He got 14 carries. Nick Chubb got 5. So, yeah, that's another. I tell you what, for a team that's not going to do anything this year, the Houston Texans are 4-5. Having 3 rookies on your offense, Woody Marks and the two receivers. Look, you got some things to build on. Now, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a GM in the NFL. I think maybe you should get some offensive linemen. That's just me. Great defense, young talent on offense. I'm thinking go all in on offensive line in the offseason. Get a couple of free agents, a couple of draft picks, and maybe protect your quarterback. That's just me.
I mean, you have to at this point because it's decision-making time next year for Stroud. So you got to decide whether you're going to pay him or not. I think.
Isn't he already paid? He's not paid yet?
No, because he had the great rookie year, the shit year last year, and then a shit year this year. So this is only his 3rd year.
No, okay.
So, but I think to be fair to the kid, you got to get him some help on the offensive line. Again, do I think he's going to be better than the average quarterback in this league? Probably not. But
I do. I'm still a believer. It's wavering, but I'm still a Stroud believer.
I think there's still a possibility. I think there's a possibility I'm wrong. So,
and we've seen the slow growth of quarterbacks in this league. Kind of just this is like the golden age of the slow growth quarterback. We just talked about Sam Darnold MVP. I mean, Jesus Christ, after that Monday night game where he saw a ghost against New England, if he comes back and wins the MVP, it's not like this is a 30 for 30. This is like one of the greatest stories. I'm not even kidding. What he was as a rookie to what he's doing this year.
Even last year, the great year he had in Minnesota, and then when it was nut cutting time when he faced a team with everything on the line with the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
New York Jets Sam Darnold against Detroit, and then immediately in the playoffs, terrible and gone. For him just to bounce back even from that, to come back and do this again this year, that's the reason why I wasn't a big buyer on him in Seattle. Was like, where's this dude at mentally? I know he had a great year, but then when it really came time to play, we saw the same old same Darnold we'd always seen. How could he possibly bounce back from that? Well, he's fucking done it. He's been great, so kudos to him on that. Sure. Speaking of unreal, though, Jacksonville's collapse, the Giants. Blew another huge fourth quarter lead to the Bears. We keep on trucking towards the playoffs somehow.
This is a caveat. This is an asterisk, though. This one definitely asterisk.
The reason why this is in the good, though. Look, Longhorn and I both have coaches in this league that we love. Both have some we don't care for as much. Longhorn's not really a fan of any of the black head coaches. I'm not sure what that's about, but
it's just one, maybe 2. Maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. It's. I have to write it down. I don't know. I have to brainstorm that one. There's at least one. There's at least one I hate.
But there are very few that we hate. Again, mostly the Blacks for Longhorn. But for me,
you hate Brian Daboll. I've learned to accept the fact that he's not good.
Hate. No, I know you don't hate. I fucking hated Brian fat ass Daboll. I've been saying for 2 years he should be fired.
Obviously, he got fired today. That's the news that Brian Daboll finally got fired today after a loss. Maybe that's what you're building to. I don't understand the move now to do it. This makes no sense. He lost Jackson Dart in the game. They were going to win this game if Jackson Dart stays healthy. Why do it now? I'm confused on why now.
Well, I think I'm about to answer that. So, I don't know why the Giants brought him back this year. I said in the preseason last year, my prediction was him and Danny Dimes were gone, done in New York. I was 1 for 2 on that. I should have been 2 for 2 if the Giants were smart, but whatever. But they brought him back. He made it through half a season. But then the collapses to Dallas, Denver, and now Chicago. All of which he was over 95% probability to win the game late in the fourth quarter. The odds, Longhorn, for losing all 3 of those games is 1 in 60,000, which roughly equates to 1.5 of a percent. This is your chance that you have. He hit the most unlucky parlay, literally, of all fucking time. It got his fat ass fired. Look, it's a good thing. I'm fucking tired of the Giants sucking as an organization. They used to be good. Jackson Dart looks like he's got a chance with the right hire to be something in this league.
Oh my god!
So I'm so happy that he's fired. I want the Giants to be a good organization again, just because I'm tired of betting under them. Just like I was tired of Chicago sucking. Like, please just get a better coach in here, get some talent around this young quarterback, and see what they can fucking do. Like, you don't have to suck forever. It's not a life sentence in this league. It's not supposed to be. It's set up for parity, for Christ's sake. How do you suck every fucking year? And Longhorn, I know you've been trying to pump the Giants up for years. I don't see how you're not excited. I know you didn't hate Dayball. You liked him at one point.
I learned to. I saw enough over the last year and a half after you've been railing on for about 3 years that I was kind of, but I did think that usually when you get the quarterback that you draft, usually that buys you some time, especially when he's playing well. That's why I don't care that he's gone. Who gives a fuck? But like,
he should have been fired when they lost the Denver game. Like, he should, as soon as they landed in New York, he should have been fired that day.
But Jackson Dart, I talked about Jackson Dart. It was a bad read on me because they didn't stop him. The 2 athletic linebackers could not stop him. He still fucking ran 6 times for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nobody can stop this dude's running game. And I didn't watch him that much in college. I don't remember it being that much of a part of his game.
Not at Ole Miss, no. Because he didn't have to. Everybody's running wide open. Now, the thing in this game that did happen, that I said was going to happen, where the Bears were going to fucking run, and they did. They ran and ran and ran and ran. So
they did, but I mean, they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter after Russell Wilson came in, and it just, you want to know, like, that's the greatest way to see how good Dart is, because they literally could not get a first down with Russell Wilson. Like, he is,
I think
he's so bad.
That's why I'm excited about. I mean, I'm excited about firing because I hate the guy, but I'm more excited about the firing because now I think, like, okay, Jack Dart, he could actually be something in this league if we get the right head coach around him. Like, yeah,
and you're gonna get obviously Neighbors back healthy next year. We'll see about Scatterboo, but they needed to get a secondary running back to go along with Scatterboo anyways, and Tyrone Tracy is not it. So get someone dynamic, and obviously they got the pass rushers on defense. They need some more players over there on defense, but yeah, we'll save all this for the offseason when it's team building mode. But good win by Chicago. You know, take advantage of a quarterback getting hurt. That's what in the snow. I don't know why they were losing necessarily. It's hard to explain. So you know, a 6-3 team in Chicago, who I'm actually looking for a good spots to fade. They feel like a team to fade.
I've been looking for a good spot to fade them. I just hadn't fucking found
it. Yeah, they'll come. I mean, we talked about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who they signed last week, made his debut, 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a lot. Like, that's a pretty good debut for a new team. So he'll be good. He'll be good for a game or two, and then he will be exposed like just like a stripper on a dance floor. Like he will do this. Like I even talked about when they signed him. He's gonna have his amazing games, and then he is gonna be like, okay, how do we get him out of here? He's terrible. He's bad in the locker room. But congratulations, Chicago. You're 6-3. I had them winning 7 games this year. They're clearly gonna go over that. So congratulations.
Oh, your Philadelphia pick looks good.
3-0.
Not touchdown, no.
3, huh?
Touchdown.
Oh, they scored a touchdown?
Vontae Smith, 36 yards, touchdown.
Oh, okay. Well, you're ahead of me then. Yeah. That's another sounder, right? Didn't I have a sounder on that?
You did have you had one unit on the plus 2.5 and one unit on the plus 110.
Oh shit, that's a good one then.
So it's gonna be a great week for the Sounders. All right, time to move on to the bad. Let's see. I had Baltimore first half minus 2.5. Had them a couple of contests for the full game. They covered that, but they lost the first half by 1. Baltimore just could not get their offense going all day, really. Little JJ pretty much threw that game away from Minnesota. And Minnesota
Little
did not run the
JJ
ball at all, which that was the part that was meaningful to me because I was the most interested. I talked about on the podcast. I wasn't ready to back Baltimore with live money just because I wanted to see if this defense was really improved. Could they stand up against this Minnesota running game? They did. MacArthur was their leading rusher, for Christ's sake. The Longhorn, your Vikings are dying on the vine, and our Ravens have won 3 in a row. So, little hope there for the one side. Tiny nick towards the death blow to the other side as the rest of the division continues to march. Maybe not Green Bay tonight, but the other two teams continue to march on, and Minnesota continues to go backwards.
Yeah, it's just he's playing like a rookie quarterback, which basically he is. So it's
and he wasn't terrible. I don't mean to kill the kid, but
I mean he wasn't great. It's just you see.
Actually, never mind. He was terrible. 5.9 yards per clip, one touchdown, 2 pick. Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, he wasn't good. Like I mean, and you do see some.
Run the ball.
You do see some flashes here and there. I mean, they're going to continue to build around next year, so we'll get into what that looks like going into next year. But the defense. You talk about a Jekyll and Hyde defense. Like this is why Minnesota is very hard to.
They
pick
weren't
on.
bad in this game though. Like if you look at Baltimore's total, I mean Minnesota outgained Baltimore. They out-yard per play Baltimore. Baltimore's offense was not good in this game. They weren't.
No,
they took advantage of the turnovers.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even put this on their.
Derrick Henry only had 3.8 to carry for Derrick Henry. Only 4 yards to carry for Lamar.
Baltimore minus 2.5 in the first half because again their offense they scored 9 points. They could not get going in the first half. They really didn't get going all fucking day until McCarthy put them in position to get some easy touchdowns. That was really about it.
And this one kind of burned me on the every game contest because that line was at 4.5 Minnesota, and I suckered my way into the Minnesota side, even though it did it close it at what did it close at? Did it go back? Yeah. I wanted to be on Baltimore. I talked all week about wanting to be on Baltimore, and then just because the line was at 4.5, I talked myself into doing Minnesota at home, and Lamar destroys NFC teams. Don't go against your staples. Your staples they're there for a reason. Like Josh Allen, over 7 points. Don't do it. Lamar, NFC, don't go against it. It's just these staples are there for a reason. Why I know that. I don't know why I don't do it. It just drives me crazy.
All right, Longhorn had San Fran plus 4.5 out to the Clients. 2 units in the danger zone. Danger zone lost 5 units in the pod this week. Yikes!
It was not so dangerous.
Not so dangerous. The number got up to 6 at one point. It closed at 5.5. Obviously, the market knew something, and in full transparency, I was going to tail this pick. Until I saw that movement come down, I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I didn't. It backed me off of it. And although the box score in this was actually it was a close game, every time San Fran got in a position where they were 1 score away from the cover, the Rams would immediately go answer with a fucking touchdown. Stafford was awesome. He had whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted it. Adams now is fully integrated in this offense and the system. And again, this team along with Seattle, Longhorn, to me, they've separated themselves from the rest of the NFC at the halfway mark of the season. I don't know what you saw in this one, but man, the Rams are impressive. They're impressive.
I mean, I saw a little bit of a phony final on this one. Yards per play, total yards.
No, it was a really close game.
Yeah. So
that San Fran just could not get. You know how like these games kind of go back and forth, and eventually a team will get a stop and then a score, and now we're back within 1 score. Now it's a football game. Every time they got within 1 score of just the cover, just to get it back to the end of the 4.5. Every single time the Rams went right down the field and fucking answered. I mean, every time San Fran needed to stop, they could not get it.
Yeah, and I'll just say, a couple things because I actually watched this game pretty intensely, and I don't know what the numbers came out to, but the Rams and this 3 tight end set, which is kind of like I've never seen so many teams do 3 tight end sets this much.
The new vogue thing.
It really is, like, and we know that people zig and zag in the NFL is kind of how things work. They 3 tight end this fucking defense to fucking death. They had no answer for it in the running game. Stafford was just fucking throwing darts. So my takeaway is the 3 tight end set. Stafford is a fucking assassin, and I don't know what they shot him up with at the beginning of the year. Look, I got a Super Bowl ticket on the Rams. Like I was on them before the back injury things settled in for Stafford. I thought that was going to derail his season. Why wouldn't we think that's going to derail his season? He literally couldn't walk at the beginning of the season, and he's playing like an MVP. So that's another takeaway. And then the third one is that it was. I don't know. I don't understand this line move. I don't understand it. Much like the Detroit thing, I didn't understand why it was coming in on Washington, but at least with that one, the stats all point, like everything pointed to Detroit during the game.
Yeah.
In this one, look, Rams jumped.
It was an even game, and that
Rams jumped at 14-0, and that was basically it. That was just based. If they didn't jump 14-0, if it went back and forth to start the game, it would have been back and forth the entire game, and then you probably land in the cover with a 3-point win.
It was literally back and forth the whole game.
So
they were 14-0, and then 7-7, 7-7, 14-12.
Yeah.
It was the 14 that they could not get past that 14-0 hole to get back in the cover.
Right.
I said every time they were right there in position.
It was Stafford, and it would be Stafford just doing some. He's so fucking good. Like he is. We talked about. Everybody knows he's fucking good, but like he is just continues to show how fucking good he is. It's
you
nasty.
Listen to Brady on that broadcast, Brady was pointing out everything he sees, everything he's doing now, they had a good conversation during the week.
The game's so slow. The game is so slow for Stafford right now. Like you're not going to throw anything at him that he hasn't seen. That doesn't mean you can't throttle down him on offense. Just like Brady late in his career, he would have games where they would only score 10 or 13 points. Occasionally you can have something like that, but that's going to be rare. So
it's only because people don't execute. It's not because you confused him.
Yeah, The O line just can't block, and you start eating sacks, and there's nothing you can do. It's not because he's not seeing it right.
Yeah, all of a sudden you sail the ball, it goes over somebody's head, it's picked off. That's going to happen. It's football. But there's nothing you're going to throw at this dude at this point that he hasn't seen.
And then McCaffrey, 12 carries for 30 yards. That Rams defense that you poo-pooed on me.
I know, but I said that on the podcast. The reason why I didn't like your pick for San Fran is because McCaffrey did not grade out well. I said the week before against the Giants, he graded out great. Anytime he doesn't grade out well, it's hard for me to back the San Fran offense.
That's true. That's something to look. That's something to definitely pay attention to going forward. But are you finally a believer on this Rams defense that I've been pimping out for about a year and a half now? You coming around now?
They look great, man. They look fucking great. They, they look like, again, if it ended up being them, and I don't know how it could be, but I guess it could through seeding, them in Seattle and the NFC Championship game, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me a bit.
By the way, speaking of, we talked about the Deadskins earlier, and Emmanuel Forbes, who was a first-round draft pick, cornerback out of, I can't remember actually what college, got cut by the Deadskins. The Rams picked him up in the beginning of in the offseason and they said, look out for this guy. Emmanuel Forbes is an absolute difference maker for this defense. He's about 5'9", 160 pounds, and that was always the knock on him.
I remember him now.
Yeah, he's just tiny frame, but that dude is balling for the Rams, and they love having him. We talk about all the time. Good franchise, bad franchise. This kind of the way these things go.
Coaching, man. Coaching.
For sure.
All right. Last thing I got here. Oh, the Carolina Panthers. I don't even need to mention the spread on this one because it's all about Survivor. Longhorn and 490 other people in Circus Survivor put their faith in Bryce Young to win a football game for their Survivor lives.
Sucks.
And not only did he not win, he got completely outplayed by I Suck Shuck. Bryce Young was 17 for 25 for 124 yards, 5 yards per attempt. 0 touchdowns and a pick.
Hmm.
And this same Carolina defense that literally went on the road and shut down the Green Bay Packers let I Suck Shuck throw for 282 yards at 10.4 yards per attempt, more than a first down every time he let go of a ball. 2 touchdowns, no picks. And because of this loss, coupled with the Bills, the $18 million pot for Circus Survivor is now down to 1,000 people. And the Grandissimo, which was the $100,000 entry, is down Longhorn to 6 people.
Oh my God.
And they're currently negotiating, chopping the $6.9 million. So every single player that is left is walking away with over 10 times their investment back. Now, they'll do it some sort of tiered way where, like, next guy out only gets this.
Yeah.
Everybody there is getting over $1 million. Like, it's fucking crazy. Now, Longhorn has tried to defend his boy Young since about week 15 last year. He just said they were his Panthers again on the podcast this last week. But now, I got to
That's your cue. That's your cue right there.
Still your Panthers.
Well,
they do the unthinkable and lose to the worst team in football at home.
Okay. Well, I didn't know you were taking it there, but you're playing my emotions right now, Smoking. I don't like it. Yeah, like there's going to be certain spots. Obviously, I'll still play on Carolina because this was all Bryce Young. The defense played okay. Like there was some. Look, J.C. Horn, I watched this game very intently. Obviously, it knocked me out of Survivor, so I definitely had it on one of the 3 TVs. J.C. Horn on defense, and I hate nitpicking because this is all about Bryce Young, but I don't know what the fuck J.C. Horn was doing playing cornerback. He was...
I mean, I Shuck threw for 282, 10.4 yards an attempt. That was the best yards per attempt number of the entire weekend.
Yeah, he had a couple bombs.
This
and it was
elite Carolina defense.
And you want to know how close this is? How like things switch so fast, because like it. Well, I don't know about the second bomb, but one of the bomb plays to the tight end, he literally could have been sacked 2 or 3 times, and he fucking shucked his way out of it somehow, and he found a wide open guy because the defensive players had left him. But just Bryce Young. Remember we were talking about I don't understand Bryce Young's body language. He is the worst body language quarterback in the NFL. He has no emotion. He's fucking deadpan. He doesn't fire people up. He doesn't get mad at people. He doesn't get happy with people. He is the worst. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll still bet on them if it's the right spot. They're still 5-5, and usually at home is their sweet spot. And usually at home is their sweet spot. But oh God, he fucked me. But I will say this: they couldn't run. They couldn't. I mean, all I kept saying was like, just run the fucking ball. Just hand it off. Dowdle, who's going for like 150 yards every fucking game, 18 carries, 53 yards against New Orleans. What? But yeah, this is how you get a lot of people knocked out in Survivor on something like this. It's just, I don't know, NFL.
New Orleans, by the way, good. You said it's all on Bryce Young on Carolina. It was all Shuck for New Orleans. New Orleans running game. Poodle poo-poo. 3.3 yards per attempt through the whole team. Kamara, he had 83 yards on 22 fucking attempts. 3.8. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't do shit. He had a long of 16. It was literally all. We got to come up with a name. Is it the suckle shuffle? What are we gonna?
I don't know. All I know is there were empty beer cans being thrown across the room at my house because this is just when I see a team that is a dominant running game and they're getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust against this fucking sorry defense. I was getting so fucking mad. And the only reason I played Carolina is because, once you get to this time of the year, you really should start planning out the whole year from the beginning. But certainly when you get to this point of the year in Survivor, you've got to plan out, you plan out your year. And I went through and planned out all the weeks. And I needed Seattle badly in one of the other weeks coming up. And I'm like, well, we could play the free square now in Seattle for sure. But if we want to win this thing, we gotta, we gotta play Carolina. We gotta fucking play. But now we're fucking done and we're out of it. And I hate you forever, Bryce Young. Although I will still bet on you in certain spots later in the year for sure.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear, that you hate him forever. No, between them and Buffalo, they fucked so many people. In fact, in the Grandissimo, there was only one guy, because there was only 10 people left going in. There was only one guy that was on one guy on Carolina, 4 people on Buffalo, which the much better pick, obviously. You're 9.5 point fucking favorites, and you have Josh Allen. Yeah, bad spot, blah blah blah, but surely Josh Allen's gonna win that game.
Yeah,
4
for
of
the
those
most
guys
part.
get knocked out, so now you're down to 6. Could you imagine me sitting there with 6 people left, and you're staring at $6.9 million, and now you're all on the phone with your lawyers talking about shopping?
I mean, that's
a pretty spot.
You're probably not going to work Monday morning. You're probably like, hey, let's take some paid days.
If you had $100,000 to invest into a survivor pot, how hard
That's
work
true.
in the first place?
That's true. You're just to defer all your phone calls to just the next person in line.
Becky, take all this shit tomorrow.
Oh my god! Yeah, what a great spot to be in. Sucks that I'm out. We'll still talk about survivors going forward because like this is getting really at that point is it going to last like maybe 2 more weeks? Probably.
Well, we got 1,000
3.
people left. Well, there's 1,000 people left in the big contest. I haven't seen how many.
Don't they say like 20% go out each week? So maybe like 20 or 30% go out each week. So you're looking at about 4, maybe 5 weeks.
Yeah, maybe around Thanksgiving this year, because in that contest, Thanksgiving's 2 weeks. So I don't know how many is going to be left in mine. I think we're at 7. We were at like 720 to start the week. I know at least 30% of the people were on Carolina, so that's going to be a good chunk. And I don't know how many on the Bills, but yeah, it'll be a good chunk. Probably lose about half of mine too, so I should be looking at about 350, 400 people maybe, somewhere around in there. Let's see if we can keep on moving on. Speaking of moving on, let's move on to the Are You Fucking Kidding Me? Now this one, I gotta admit, it's pretty weak for this week, but that's not usually a bad thing. But I did lose my under on the Jets and Browns. I said we did luck out and win the unit in the +2. But my God, what a fuck job on this under. I just wanted to say this out loud. This is a real thing that happened in life. The Jets scored 14 points. And the time they had 14 points, they had negative net 2 yards on offense. Negative net 2 yards. And yet they put 14 points on the board.
Well, it was pretty early in the game, was it not? Let me look.
Yeah. It was the first quarter and the second quarter. They had the kickoff return and the punt return.
Oh, it was all the way to the second quarter? All right, that's fair then.
Oh, yeah. So, for every yard they lost, they scored a touchdown. For every yard they lost, they scored a touchdown.
Sounds like good complimentary football to me.
Yeah. They had 17 points at the half with a total of 62 yards, which they got all 64 of those other yards, make up the net -2, on their only sustained drive of the first half, and it ended in a field goal. Shocker. Now, the Jets the Browns had 4 yards per play for the game. The Jets had 3.6. There is no fucking way this game should have even made it into the 30s, much less damn near 50. And if you want any evidence of that, the combined score for the second half, which Longhorn knows, is always the highest scoring half in the NFL games.
13 points.
13 points. This game should have been 18-10 Browns. Again, at least the luck got us the split here, but my God, this Jets offense is a fucking joke. It's a joke. And without a proper spot like this, which was a great spot to play them, I don't know how you bet on this team, because they are beyond awful on offense. Beyond, like, unconscionably bad.
Well,
they're as bad on offense as Carolina was last year for that good stretch where we're like, how do you bet this team? Because they literally can't score the ball, they can't move the ball, they can't run the ball, they can't pass the ball. They can't do this. Is where the Jets are now. They cannot do anything on offense.
And that's with one of the more impressive young black coaches in the league. And like, if you haven't heard me say this before, Aaron Glenn, definitely not a DEI hire at all. Like, this guy earned his way to head coach, because remember how good that Detroit defense has been for the last 2 or 3 years. Like, I mean, that's a lights out defense, and he took
By
that
the way,
lights.
they're actually excellent now. That's what's been carrying.
I know.
Detroit is the defense.
Fucking know. So yeah, I can't believe it.
Oh my god, that was such just an ass whipping for me. Like that game again. I'm happy we got the win on the +2, but
Usually, if you get one kick return or defensive return touchdown,
Yeah,
you're
you're
over as fucked. If you get 2, you're so proper fucked, it's not even funny.
actually when the total was 38.
That's like a
Yeah.
third of it right there. More than a third.
It was 17-17 and a half. I'm like, well, they only need one score. I'm fucked. And then I didn't even look at the games. I was driving. The next time I stopped, like at a gas station, the third quarter was over, and it was still 17-17. I was like, yeah, I'm still fucked, but this is amazing that they went through a whole quarter and nobody scored. Because
No shit.
why would they score? Because both these offenses are fucking horrendous. All right, boys and girls, that was the good, the bad, and the are you fucking kidding me? All right, time for some look ahead, y'all, as I pull up the lines. Looking ahead to week 11. If this thing will load. Okay. All right, Longhorn, anything tickling your fancy? Obviously, first bet has to be the Jets plus the 11.5 against the Patriots.
Where are they? Oh God, Thursday night. Yeah, yeah. If you haven't learned your lesson yet, you don't bet against the Patriots. It's just why would you ever? If there's ever like just a say it out loud bet.
Did I mention that game? I'm sorry, I had that written down too.
Yeah, that was the best game of the day. But yeah, Drake. Just real quickly, we can recap that one. Drake May.
Yeah, so that was a loss for me. I'm sorry, I had that written down. Somehow I skipped over. I had Tampa Bay -2. It was a spot play for me. The numbers graded out for Tampa to win by 4. Not a huge margin, but still, I get
Could have gone. It could have been some Baker magic, but Baker's just not going to be the same without the running back and 2 receivers. It's just they're not quite the same there. I will say this though.
Box score was fine. Now the Patriots deserve to win the game, so I'll take the loss. Not saying that, but there was an opportunity for me to win that game for sure. But it was, dude. I know I had all this written down. I don't know what happened to it, but I wrote down literally like, this Patriot team is now finding ways to win games, even when they're not on their best game. Because Drake May, I mean, he was good, but he did throw a pick. But Travion Henderson, that's what I wrote down. My boy Travion Henderson explodes, 147 10.5 yards a fucking carry. Love this kid coming to Ohio State. I liked him more than the Judkins kid. I think they're both probably going to be really good. But man, this Patriot team, it looks and feels more like the older Patriots teams where they just find a different way. I'm trying to recall my notes. They find a different way every week, it seems like, to beat you.
Yeah.
Instead of getting beat, which is what they've been doing for the last 4 years.
Well, that's what good coaching does. And the 2 things from this game that I would mention is the call and the clock management of the coach. Why am I forgetting? Vrabel for New England to burn a play down at the goal line. I don't know if
that was ballsy.
And it took a 4th down throw by Drake May to bail his ass out. Now,
great catch.
All that's true. But I think in theory, whether it worked or not, I think that's very analytical and advanced thinking way. So I kind of support that because he got the 2-for-1. He knew he was getting the ball coming out of halftime, so they got the touchdown there, the touchdown in the second half. That's literally it. That was like the whole game. Second point, the beginning of this game, it was raining. Not a downpour, but it was raining, and Drake May could not complete a pass. So I'm just saying, package that, stay there for the future. Yeah. Even Tony Romo mentioned it, like Jim, they're in trouble here. Drake May is struggling with this rain.
Jim.
Oh, Jim, this rain, it's a problem. So if there's a rain game, like maybe they play Seattle or whatever the case may be.
Okay,
If it's a
what's the
rainy,
chance of having weather in New England? Come on.
there's gonna be weather. So like this is something to watch. This is just something to watch. I don't know. He looked so bad when it was raining, and then the rain stopped, and he was fine after that. So just package that for the future.
Your boy Ibuka did write this down too. Another monster game. I mean, this kid he's now the odds-on favorite offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Dart's pretty close though.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah, they're always gonna go with the quarterback.
And they're 1 and 2 on the odds.
Yeah.
It'll have to be Tampa Bay going. It'll be because Tampa Bay wins the division. Would be the reason why he would win it, and the Giants obviously are falling into the fucking netherworlds. But yeah, that I don't know. I'll take the loss. The Patriots deserve the win. I'm not saying that it wasn't a bad beat or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but at least in that we had a chance at the end. So whatever. I mean, sometimes you lose games like that. But man, I will say this. Talk about poo-pooing the Jets and betting on the Patriots. This has been a little bit of a trend I've been following, and I've won a couple of games on it lately. I don't know why I wasn't on the Raiders this Thursday. It fell right into this. These over touchdown dogs on Thursday night in division, they've been red fucking hot. I don't think they've lost the game all fucking year. So, something to ponder.
You gonna bet on the Jets? I don't think you are.
I can't answer that at this
point.
I
don't think you are. So looking ahead, I don't know. There's a couple games that stand out early before we actually get into some of the diving into some of the handicapping. But the free squares back on the board. You got Houston, Tennessee +7 at home. That's the free square on Houston. Stroud should be back. So I'm always going to look to bet against Tennessee. They're the free square.
I'm pretty sure I have Houston left in my survivor. So.
There you go. Now that would be. Oh, if Tennessee beats you, you'll be throwing beer cans.
Dude, how many
next
people
week.
did they beat on that Arizona game?
That's true. That is true. Baltimore, or excuse me, Cleveland at home, catching 8, division game. This is back in their sweet spot. Not saying I'm going to be on it. I'm not saying I'm not going to be on it, but that's back in their wheelhouse. Cowboys on the road. They're getting a lot of players back healthy. Not just the additions that they made with the trades. They're getting some healthy players coming back. Overstreet and who am I missing? There's a secondary player coming back healthy too.
Overshown
on at linebacker, and they're getting a secondary player back too. I'm having a brain fart, but could be a different looking defense.
So if they're looking at, okay, let's think through their. Now they
the rookie cornerback they drafted in the second round. Sorry, him, Overshown, and then the trades they made before.
They brought in the other middle linebacker. I've heard talk that they're going to go to a 5. They're basically going to the bear front now.
Okay.
So you've got Clowney, who they didn't have. You've got Diggy Zua. He's been kind of middling again this year. But you got the other free agent they brought in, they traded for the defensive tackle. He's been kind of middling this year again. Yeah. But then you got Solomon Thomas.
And Quincy Williams.
Now you got Quincy Williams. So now this is a completely different defensive line than what we started the year from for Dallas. That 5-man bear front.
Well, and the rookie
team that can't run block anyway.
The rookie from Boston College, he's
rock you.
Yeah, well, it's not his real name, but it's close enough. He's starting to. We'll say this another time, but all the rookie pass rushers are not getting sacks. It's a weird thing. Rock Hughes only got 2. Carter for the Giants, I think he's up to 2 or 3 now.
He's still the odds-on. Well, he was the odds-on favorite defensive rookie of the year just because of his pressure numbers.
Yeah, they're getting good. They're just not getting home yet. But that can happen with rookies. But yeah, look out for the Cowboys. I'm not saying that they're going to be like. I mean, obviously they're probably not going to make the playoffs. I don't know what their odds are. I think it's like 10% to make the playoffs or something like that. But they could look very different. Just something to look for. And then what else we got? We talked about Cleveland.
How about the fact that the Dolphins are now 3-point favorites at Westgate over the Redskins.
That feels a little rich. That's probably back on a Redskin spot, but they are the Deadskins, so I don't know about that. The game of the week has to be one of the game of the weeks. It's got to be the Tampa Bay Buffalo Bills. What an interesting game. Buffalo talked about they don't look right. Tampa Bay coming off a loss. Man, I want to be all on Tampa Bay there. So
come off losses.
That's true. That is true. So that I usually like one team coming off a loss that's getting a good number, but we'll see who's coming back for Tampa Bay. I mean, like at some point, Bucky Irvin's got to come back. I mean, I didn't think it was going to take this long, so I'm interested in Tampa Bay there.
Steelers are really laying 5.5 to anyone.
Where are they at? Yeah, those Cincinnati bungles. I don't know. I'm a little. I've got when Pittsburgh Steelers name comes up, I get a little bit of throw up that comes in my mouth. That I can't tell you how many times they've beat me at catching 3.5 this year. Like that's their. If the Steelers are getting 3.5, stay away. Don't bet them. They're gonna burn you. They're gonna fuck you. You think they're gonna be able to keep it within 3? They won't. It's just
that game was so close for so long, and it just literally got away from them in the second half.
I swear to God,
it was so crazy.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Vikings Bears. I'm interested in that. Vikings 3 points. Home favorites there.
To me, that's a good line. That's a good way. That's a good number to set it at because you want to be on, or at least me personally. I talked about earlier in the podcast. I want to be fading the Bears. I'm looking to fade them. You know, at 3, that makes it hard to bet on Minnesota though, from what you've seen from them. So my initial reaction is Minnesota, but I've got to dig into some trends and some all that stuff.
2.5 at Heritage, but it's juiced. It's pretty much flat 3 across the board. So we'll see where the market pushes that one. I'll be interested to see that. And then your Panthers back in their usual dog spot, but only 3.5 points at the Falcons.
Yeah, but that's on the road. That's Bryce.
It kind of feels like a Falcons blowout.
Yeah, Bryce Young does not play well on the road, and oh God, they're 5-5 in the last 3 and 6. These teams should be the same. They're like the same team, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll dig into it. We'll do it on Thursday.
All right. Oh, I think the game of the week, honestly, is Rams Seahawks. We just talked about these are the best 2 teams.
That's true. Yeah, that is the game of the week.
2.5 points. 3
banged right at 3. That's a Seahawks number. That's a Seahawks number to start because you're not getting. If you think these teams are equal, which I don't know how you can think they're not at this point. These got to be equal teams. You're not getting home field is not 3 points. Certainly not 3 points in a division game. So to me, the value is on Seattle there at initial. It looks like it's a juice 3, so not a legit 3.
Yeah, it's 2.5 across the board at pretty much every book, but all like minus 118 or more. So
yeah,
you could get an expensive 2.5 or a very cheap 3.
Well, a cheap 3 if you're on the Rams, and a very expensive 3.
Cheap 3, yeah, cheap 3.
Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be one of those. I'm really interested in digging in that game for sure. We'll see how that happens. Then you got your San Fran, your bounce back spot. It's been the money spot all year. They're fucking only laying 2.5 at Arizona.
Yeah, that's their spot. That is their spot. They're a good team. I'm gonna listen to you and see what the breakdown is on McCaffrey and how he grades out against his defense.
Depending on that for me.
So we'll see. We'll see what that comes out as.
All right, then. You got anything else?
That's it for me.
All right, we'll tell them about that fabulous Patreon where they can find this company that just continues to fucking win week after week after week, baby.
Yeah, go to that Patreon page, patreon.com/bet_FGH. You got CK. If you do anything with player props, anything with fantasy football, go to that Patreon page and get CK's package. And of course, Bo Stevens, NFL, college. He continues to win week after week. So we'll see you back here Thursday, and we never pay a book again. Bo Stevens, get us out of here.
Damn it, people never pay a book again. Steven Tyler, take us out, baby.